Ahoy hoy y'all, how we doing tonight? It is ARCA night in America. We're at Berlin tonight. And we're going to see some short track fireworks tonight. And the starting lineup tonight is interesting. It is not what you would expect. Ty Gibbs is not on the pole tonight. I'll let some people file in here first before we get to the starting lineup. But yeah, it's not Ty Gibbs on the pole. He did lead practice, but it was by less than a tenth. It was by like half a tenth. So I think the field has caught up to Ty Gibbs at this point. We will see. Alright, so what do we got for predictions tonight? I see MAVTV and Short Track Thing have been here. How's it going, y'all? I think y'all were both here before we started, though I haven't seen anybody actually file in yet after we started this. I'm excited for some Berlin racing tonight. The only track on the schedule that doesn't have a backstretch wall. So that could get interesting. There's Dibslin. What's going on? Alright, so starting lineup for tonight. Daniel Dye is on the pole in the 21 Ford GMS. Ty Gibbs on the outside pole. Corey Heim will start third with Taylor Gray in fourth. Jesse Love starts fifth with Nick Sanchez in sixth. Thad Moffitt seventh. Morgan Alexander in the Nice Motorsports car starts eighth. Gracie Trotter ninth. And Mason Mingus will start 10th. Alex Clubb 11th, Owen Smith 12th, Zach Tinkle 13th, Tony Cosentino 14th, Mike Basham 15th, and Brad Smith in 16th. Hey Robert, hey Bussin. Dibslin says Taylor Gray is going to win. Who's everybody else got? I've been actually very impressed by Daniel Dye so far today. I think I'm going to go with Daniel Dye. I think Daniel Dye tonight is going to be the first driver not named Ty Gibbs or Corey Heim to win an ARCA race this season. Heim time with Lime on the high side. Okay. I mean, I don't know if the high side's going to do him much good here, but I wouldn't have said the high side would have done him much good at Elko, and it did for a while, so we'll see about that. Oh, Bussin's got Brad Smith. Okay. Well, I have a feeling Brad Smith is starting parking tonight, so unfortunately I'm not sure that's actually going to happen. Zach Tinkle is in the Wayne Peterson car. So, no Wayne Peterson technically in the field tonight, but his car is here with Tinkle in it. Another blank car for Ty Gibbs tonight.
How fast is that 18 going? What's he going to qualify like? How can we get the lead from him? How can we start next to him and try to get a shot like Jesse Love tried last week? Not a lot of people have been able to finish the deal.
I'm going to keep the SRX race on as well on mute, and I'm going to keep an eye on it just to see what's happening there. Fairgrounds is always a fun one, so I don't want to miss that. And I think they're gonna get started before ARCA does. Dude, just looking at these cars sitting on the front stretch at Nashville, they look like IROC cars. Oh, Hinch is back in the booth. Good. I like Hinch in the booth. Brad Smith is always a winner. Yes, yes he is. Yes, he is.
And I love when Dave Reeve asked Corey Heim in Victory Lane last week about that bump and run to get the lead when he shoved the 18 of Ty Gibbs until the fourth.
Shove may have even been a nice way to put it.
Heim said he had one coming. So I wonder what he feels like this week. Let's go to Dave.
I never realized there's a bit of a bend in the backstretch here.
Love to debate it. The media, we love to dissect it, but let's face it, that bump and run has been around as long as there's been race cars. It produces drama, it produces intrigue, and for this man, it produced his fourth win of the year just 7 nights ago.
Knowing, though, what was once a amicable rivalry is a little more spirited now, how do you mentally prepare for another short track Saturday night where there are still more questions than answers?
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit different just with, the previous race and everything. But as far as preparation, I'm just doing the same thing I do every week. We come to win the race, come to sit on the pole, and I think we're a little off in practice and qualifying, but I think a lot of that's me. I need to get a little bit better. So, like I said, as far as preparation, preparing the exact same, and we're going to get ready for the race here.
You replay anything of what happened 7 nights ago, or is that water under the bridge in your eyes?
In my eyes, it's water under the bridge for sure. We're just here to try to prove ourselves and get some more speed out of our short track
I
car.
bet it's not for Ty.
Man starts in the number 3 position, 1 spot behind the aforementioned 18 of Ty Gibbs.
But take a look
Hey,
at
Moffacast.
virtually equal.
Hey, Landon.
1 win more for Ty Gibbs over Corey Heim.
The one non-top 5 finish.
Yes, Bell did win the Xfinity race. I like that diecast. That was a good-looking 54 car. I hope Lionel offers that. ARCA start times do suck. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they're trying to go for like a Saturday night short track feel. Like if you go to your local track, this is about the time the main feature would start. I feel like that's what they're going for, but it's not fun, especially for those of us that have to stay up and do coverage of it afterward. Yeah, it sucks. Everybody's chumming each other. Ding dong. I love how... Okay, this is one of my favorite parts about SRX, too. They're already under their pace laps. Like, they waste no time, and they are ready to go. ARCA, we're still sitting here on a break, and they haven't even gotten in the cars yet. Hey, Ashton. Yeah, those 10 p.m. starts suck. Next week for Iowa, it's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern. It'll be 8 p.m. Central, but 9 Eastern. It's literally a carbon copy of today's schedule. Literally, practice, qualifying, and the race are the same times, except they are Central because it's Iowa instead of Eastern for Berlin. So, I don't know. SRX is underway. To Six Flags and went on X2. What is X2? Is that a roller coaster? I couldn't tell you the last time I've been to Six Flags. Everybody's chumming each other. Well, eventually, they're trying to start. They're on break right now, Ashton. They're not in the cars yet, so, I mean, we're probably 10, 15 minutes away from green flag. I'm not really sure. They take longer with pre-race here than I would like for them to. Yes, Cornfield Richmond next week for ARCA. Oh, it is a roller coaster. Okay. I like roller coasters. Our big amusement park in Indiana is Holiday World down in southern Indiana. I hate Holiday World. They have like one good roller coaster and the rest of the park sucks. Everybody I've ever met that's been to Holiday World loves it. I hate that place. Other than the one good roller coaster, the whole park sucks. I can't stand it. And I like amusement parks. Oh, Moffacast will be at Iowa. Okay. Maybe we need to do like a meetup at some of these races. Like any of you guys that are going to be at the races, maybe we need to start doing like meetups. Like how Jeff Gluck and I think Pockrass does it too. They do those tweet ups. We need to start doing something like that.
Week, as we told you, Corey Heim took the win at Elko Speedway. Now we're at Berlin Raceway for round 4, and the entire month of July, it's all about the Sioux Chief Showdown.
Rolling into Winchester Speedway, Iowa Speedway next Saturday. Looking down the list here, I can't wait to get to Watkins Glen, Milwaukee.
Wait, how are Bill and Chase 1-2 in SRX right now? How is Bill leading? Bill hasn't done anything in any SRX race yet.
Yeah, certain tracks do not allow these drivers to race unless they're 18 years of age. 15-year-old Kyle Weatherman won the first Sioux Chief, what was called the Short Track Challenge, but this is really $1 million on the line. The teams that want to come from the East Coast, West Coast, anywhere you want to bring your driver, age of 15 or 16, 17, 18, you get to race at really cool racetracks like Phoenix and Milwaukee and Watkins Glen to race for this championship.
10 races, short tracks, and a road course as well. A lot of fun with the Sioux Chief Showdown. Earlier
Oh, that's right. You were at Mid-Ohio.
Award qualified.
You didn't say anything, Robert. You should have put something in the Discord. We'd have found each other. I was in the media center a lot of the time. I walked around pit road a few times, but there wasn't a lot to be had on pit road. Most of the drivers weren't even on pit road most of the day at Mid-Ohio, so
Very impressive was
it didn't do much good to not be in the media center that day.
For a long time, now needs to kind of dial him in for the long haul here tonight on a very difficult racetrack. Speaking of this racetrack, let's just say it's oddly shaped. We've been coming here for a long time, back to the ASA days, and it's always fun because it's almost...
Hey, look, it's Casey's alter ego.
Nothing traditional about this oval whatsoever. It's 0.438 of a mile.
Oh, he gave Bill a choice. So are we saying the car has been the issue up until now? They do have championship standings. I have no idea what the points are at this point, though.
In the corner, my corner entry is like all the way around the racetrack.
Frank Kimmel,
Yeah, there you go.
car chief for Thad Moffitt, the most wins in ARCA at this racetrack with
Just
3.
yell Garth
But Dave Reed,
Reno.
what have the
I'll come
drivers told
running.
you today about this place?
Well, the drivers, just like me, are discovering some of the very unique idiosyncrasies, if you will, of Berlin. Coming in, the very first thing you're going to notice, there is no backstretch wall. And if you think to yourself, I wonder if a car's ever gone off back there, the answer is absolutely yes. Vern Slaw back in the day, Josh Williams. These are ARCA racers. They went off the racetrack. It's very much...
Josh Williams went off the backstretch of Berlin. I did not know that. Yeah, there's no backstretch wall at Berlin.
On the trailer, so watch for that.
Hello, Casey's
Also
alter
very
ego.
unique, pit road here at this racetrack. It actually is on the inside of the middle of turns 1 and 2. And if you look behind me now here, it comes straight down the middle of this racetrack. Another thing that's unique about pit road. Take a look. The haulers are right here. The pit boxes are right here. And cars and drivers will come into their pit box, and instead of service being done from the left-hand side, it actually will come from this right-hand side. And from there, those drivers will pull back out onto the racetrack, right on the front stretch, right off of turn 4. And then you talk about turn 4. It's its own uniqueness as well. We're talking about a sweeping left-hander into turn number 3 that quickly turns into a very, very sharp corner.
So then I wonder, is Willie T. Ribbs as slow as he seems to be, or is that a car problem?
Prior to tonight and a lot of fresh faces, I think I add up all that math to where this is going to be another short track Saturday night with some beating and banging going on in Berlin. What do you guys think?
Agree with you absolutely, and that turn 4 area is very tricky because when new drivers come here...
Oh, I have no idea, Mofficast. I haven't heard anything if he is.
The fast way around most times is below.
It wouldn't surprise me, though. He's so old at this point, I can't imagine he could do much more than one season.
Takes that long to get a run here on some drivers to pass him.
Beautiful shot by the Lucas Oil chopper overhead here at Berlin Raceway, and a great crowd on hand here today. They've been waiting for this in the state of Michigan for more than a year. ARCA Racing back here at this racetrack, down trackside.
Of our retail partner Menards, let's get the ZInsser SmartCoat.
I feel like they've
underway.
made the sponsor logos bigger.
Start your engines.
The sponsors seem more prominent this week on the SRX cars. Oh boy, fun flag.
The car is about to get fired here at Berlin Raceway.
Like, I don't remember noticing that much that Goodyear was on Bill's car. And look at Napa plastered all over Chase's car. It literally looks like his cup car. Alright, now that engines are fired, we'll go over the starting lineup one more time for ARCA. Daniel Dye is on the pole tonight, not Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs starts second. Corey Heim will start third. Taylor Gray fourth. Jesse Love starts fifth. Nick Sanchez sixth. Thad Moffitt seventh. Morgan Alexander in the Nice Motorsports car starts eighth. Gracie Trotter ninth, and Mason Mingus back in the 11 car will start 10th. Alex Clubb 11th, Owen Smith 12th, Zach Tinkle in the 06 for Wayne Peterson starts 13th, Tony Costantino 14th, Mike Basham 15th. And Brad Smith starts shotgun on the field in 16th. All rise for the playing of Freebird. Oh yeah, it does not look good, Robert. I really wish Napa would go back to those, okay, hang on. I have a perfect example. Like the classic Napa schemes. Hang on, I gotta get this out of my case here. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Like a scheme like this. I really wish Napa would go back to schemes that look like this. Like this is what a Napa scheme is supposed to look like. They use too much white in these Napa schemes now. Like even Jesse Love's scheme for ARCA West this year, I don't like it. There's way too much white. And then the yellow trim I don't even think looks that good. It just needs to be base blue all the way around. That's a Napa scheme. Yeah, Liberty Mutual commercials are terrible. Oh, Limu Emu is the worst. That is the most annoying character I think has ever been created for commercials. No, Flo from Progressive is the most annoying character that's ever been created for commercials.
Series with the ZInsser SmartCoat 200 at Berlin Raceway in Michigan. 200 grueling laps around this 4/10 of a
MTJ's 2010 to 2013 scheme. Oh, he was at MWR. Yeah, those were pretty good. But again, they were mostly base blue, weren't they? Like they were pretty similar to that, I thought.
I'm excited to see what Taylor Gray can do in his second race back from injury. That 16-year-old starts up in the fourth.
Yes, exactly, Ashton, and that's basically the scheme I just showed. Very, very similar. I really wish that Napa as a whole would go back to schemes like that.
He makes his debut tonight in that number 50.
Gracie Trotter scored her best career ARCA finish 1 week ago with a podium run at Elko, and Mason Mingus is a former.
Oh, look at this. Bill and Chase. I feel like they might have rigged this. They want the Bill and Chase show right now. I can't say I'm mad about it because, again, this is an entertainment series. We've seen that up to this point, but this just seems too coincidental.
Onboard camera will belong to the Solar Fit car, the number 21 of Daniel Dye, part of a Bounty Rookie Spotlight.
And before anybody gets all up in arms, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't think things actually get rigged. But if any series were to get rigged like that, I feel like it would be SRX. Who would be the best character created for? Oh man,
200 laps. That's just under.
That's a good question. I don't know, honestly.
And make some changes. They'll have to keep those left side tires from getting too buzzed. What I mean is they can actually light the tires up off the corner. They get too much heat in those tires, man, it's going to cause a whole lot of wear because they want to save those for.
I think MoffatCast is spreading fake news right now. I have not seen any wrecking between the Elliots yet. In fact, Bill's pulling away from Chase, and Bobby Labonte might take second from Chase. No, ARCA is not rigged. 100%. I do not believe that at all. ARCA is definitely not rigged.
That may make Daniel maybe lose this stuff, use this stuff before we get going here. I really believe the fast cars might be coming back to these teams by lap 75 when we go to that first race break.
If it were rigged, I don't think Ty would be winning as much as he is. They'd want more of an exciting product. Now, that being said, a lot of these races this year have been exciting. Green flag's out in ARCA. Daniel Dye has cleared into the lead off of turn 2 ahead of Ty Gibbs. Still side by side for second with Heim and Taylor Gray. Jesse Love is cleared into 5th behind him, and I believe that's Nick Sanchez in 6th.
Daniel Dye leads his first laps ever in the ARCA Series tonight here at Berlin. Battle is for 3rd here. Corey Heim on the 20 will relay.
Taylor Gray has taken 3rd from Corey Heim on the high side, so move the 17 car up to 3rd. Who would have thought the highest running Venturini car this early in the race would be in 4th? Or, yeah, 4th.
He really has a car that they made some more changes to, perhaps than he was expected, because they just didn't know what they had just yet. He said it's going to be a while, but I don't expect the first portion of this race to be where I'm going to excel.
The Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, Corey Heim's crew chief Shannon Rush.
Yeah, I'm not excited about that, Ashton. Another poorly physicsed out handling car in a poorly executed game. I'm not excited about that at all. That might be a stretch, Moffat cast. Daniel Dye has already almost put a 2nd on Ty Gibbs. We might actually be about to see a Daniel Dye win tonight. Is he about to get his first main ARCA win before he gets his first ARCA East win? Speaking of which, don't forget next week at Iowa, that is... They get points for 3 series next week at Iowa, because that totally makes sense. They get points for main ARCA, they get points for ARCA East, and they get points for the Sioux Chief Showdown. So 3 races in 1 next week at Iowa, as will be Milwaukee and Bristol. It will be the same case for them as well. Taylor's picture that they've got on this graphic, he's got this like deer in the headlights look. He's just sitting here like... Solid probably 10 car lengths Daniel Dye's got on Ty Gibbs right now. This is impressive, 11 laps into the race. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it, Ashton. I can't stand it. Monster can't put together a good game to save their lives. Why would we watch the preview show when the race has started? But yes, go watch Casey's stuff as well, but the preview show's kind of moot once the race has started. Tie-dye, I love it. Hey Siri, play Never Gonna Give You Up. Oh, nope, Siri, nope. You tricked me again.
It's tough. It's a different racetrack than what I've ever been to, so definitely a different set of circumstances for me to deal with and trying to figure out. So Corey Heim's a good driver, though, so he should be pretty good.
As far as strategies with some race.
Why are we already talking to Shannon Rush at lap 15?
At the beginning here, we just got to take care of our stuff and kind of see where the racetrack goes as the temperature goes down, the sun goes down. So get good feedback here from this first run, then adjust on the.
Oh, here comes Corey back for P3 on the inside. They're going to use Zach Tinkle as a pick, though, as they lap him. And Jesse Love's actually going to come around the outside now. Love up to P4. Heim back to 5th. Only because the 06 got used as a pick by Taylor Gray. Corey actually seems like he's faster than both of them right now. Nope, not gonna do it again to me, Robert. Well, it did set Siri off, but I stopped her before she started playing anything. Because it's entertaining, I guess. I don't know, Ashton. Everybody wants to see it. Although tomorrow will probably be the last one unless I can somehow find a way to win a 305 championship, because we can't endlessly continue to do that 305 until I win a championship. If I can't figure out tomorrow how to win a championship, well, that's about as far as we get.
Around the pit area after qualifying, and I went up and I said, "What's the matter, dude?" And he goes, "The driver just forgot how to drive in qualifying." So he believes that he has a very good car, and I was watching his line actually here today. For somebody that has only been here on one other occasion with that super late model race a couple of months ago, he's got turn 4 dialed in. You can see Corey Heim went a little bit too low there and kind of hit the loose stuff down in the corner. But Jesse Love, nice and smooth with his throttle. Corey Heim was able to catch him, but Jesse Love is...
This is a track I'd really like to see on iRacing. It just seems extremely unique, and I feel like this would be a lot of fun to figure out. Ooh. Jesse diamonded that corner so much that Corey, I don't think, was expecting it and almost got into the left rear. Lap 24, current running order. Daniel Dye leads by a second over Ty Gibbs. Taylor Gray third, Corey Heim fourth. Jesse Love fifth, Nick Sanchez sixth, Thad Moffitt seventh, Gracie Trotter eighth, Morgan Alexander ninth, and Mason Mingus in 10th.
Nomination for the recent sweet move of the race. One of the most unique things we've seen the ARCA Series do here over the last decade or so as Corey Heim goes to the inside.
Heim taking a peek inside Love again, trying to retake P4.
And actually deciding who gets the recent sweet move of the race. Go to the ARCA Racing Twitter tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and we'll nominate...
No, I disagree wholeheartedly, MoffittCast. Disagree wholeheartedly. Yeah, I don't think MoffittCast really believes anything that he says. I think he just tries to stir the pot.
So far, Ty Gibbs, by the way, about a second behind this number 21 as he leads in his first attempt in ARCA at Berlin.
I'd like to see Daniel Dye win tonight. I think it'd be cool. I kind of just want to see somebody besides Ty Gibbs and Corey Heim win tonight. That would be cool. Maybe MoffittCast is the one that's overrated. Well, to be overrated, you'd have to be rated in the first place, so... No, he is definitely not. Racing Muse? What were you going for there, Dibslin? Is that... Look at Elio leading in Heat 2 in the SRX race. Not bad. Did I hear MoffittCast? I can't hear anything. I can see things that he's saying, but I can't hear him because he's not physically here. As far as I know. Well, you can go to Applebee's, MoffittCast, but I ain't gonna be there. Racing Old News Later. Yeah, that sounds about right. That probably would be a more accurate name for my channel. This ain't Pokemon. No, it is not. Yeah, of course there's a caution while we're on break. I feel like that's normal for MAVTV. Every time there's a caution, it's while we're on break. Every single time. They take breaks at the worst times. Do I know what you meant, though? Do I?
Series is brought to you by
All right, let's find out why there's a caution.
General Tire. Anywhere
ARCA Twitter says it's for Morgan Alexander spinning.
picker-upper.
So, I think that's what the caution was for. The 50 of Morgan Alexander spins.
First caution of the day here at Berlin Raceway for the ARCA Menards Series, and it came because of a spin. And unfortunately for Alexander in the 50, he winds up in trouble early in this one.
We were looking at the leader at the time of the spin, Bob, and you'll find out right now, fans, in this autopocket replay, why it was such a close call. He's the first car in line here on the shot. The number 50 of Alexander cooked it into turn number 3.
He spun right in front of Daniel Dye.
That is a nomination for the Reese's Sweet Move of the race. Unfortunately, not for Morgan Alexander, but for the 21 of Daniel Dye. Watch him. He's that black, orange, and white car there. Has to get on the binders and just maneuver his way around Morgan Alexander, who has been running some of the Crate Dirt Late model ranks. So winner at Sonoy, Georgia
Getting tires.
last year, and now he's picked up some wins in Georgia this year as well.
Got a chance to race in the ARCA Menards Series with the Nice Motorsports.
No gas,
Group.
just tires.
Weber, who built this car, this very car, won here at Berlin Raceway back in 2014 for Mason Mitchell. Pretty good to see that, that
so this is an old Mason Mitchell
really tricky racetrack.
Nathan Mitchell chassis that Morgan Alexander's driving tonight.
ARCA Menards Series just a couple of years ago. Carson Hocevar, who had some really good runs, and he is a race dominator. Right in the middle of the screen with the blue hat on, reaching for his headset right now, is Carson Hocevar, just below that Menards flag, and he is trying to coach Morgan Alexander through this race. At an unfortunate circumstance, but that's a learning lesson for Morgan Alexander.
And this is the track Carson Hocevar went out and won an outlaw late model race at the age of 12. And the
Carson Hocevar's here on the spotter stand coaching Morgan Alexander.
Races at 12 and 13 around here.
Thad Moffitt with the Clean Harbors number
Thad is on pit road.
We mentioned his car chief, Frank Kimmel.
And they're not doing anything.
Here at this racetrack, and Thad told me
hood's not up, they're not changing tires. I don't know what they just did.
So he went to Frank and asked him.
Maybe it was the camera angle, but it didn't look like anybody did anything to that car. I'm not really sure why he came down pit road.
Get on the gas a little bit too soon. You gotta wait. You gotta roll. And when Thad would let it roll, that car was more to his liking. But early on in this race, he comes in for
he will be
Jesse
at he will be at Iowa. I did see that. Or I think Casey. I think you were the one that told me that.
You can't just use one pedal or the other. You're not stabbing on the gas or the brake.
I would agree with that, Dibslin. Mason Mitchell was good.
Get back on it. The car's got to be square. It's got to be straight. Got to be true. Or you just grind it off the tires and create heat on that rubber on the general tires. They don't like that. They're going to actually start not working for you the way you want them to. This little slowdown, Bob, I think gives Ty Gibbs a chance to talk to his team about maybe
Carson Dirty Hocevar.
Opportunity on pit stops. He was not as fast as Daniel Dye.
I'm confused.
We know how much Ty loves the lead laps. Yes, you get a point for leading.
Is that supposed to be a dirty joke? Because I don't get
I
it.
think Ty's pace is where he wants it, but I don't know if he likes the speed that Daniel Dye has been shown this far, because Daniel is pretty quick, lap after lap, faster than Ty.
Knowing Moffat cast, it's supposed to be a dirty joke that didn't hit, because I don't get it.
He too was a little bit baffled by this racetrack in practice earlier, and although he's been on quite the consistent streak as of lately, 7 top 10
wanted to park it and eat an M&M's ice cream sandwich. I would take one of those. That actually sounds really good. As usual, Landon's late to the Mason Missile party.
There's Thad Moffitt with David Gilliland Racing. Let's get an update on him from Dave Reef.
Derek Smith said the 46 car was a little free on entry, so they went ahead and took advantage of this yellow to come in and make a couple of adjustments. They figure it's worth a couple of positions long.
Oh, that's what it is.
Early pit stop, and he'll have the
yeah, that wasn't very obvious.
The first one around lap 75, coming to the green this time.
Are we surprised Tony Stewart has clinched the SRX championship in his own series? Green flag's back out. Daniel Dye clears back into the lead in front of Ty Gibbs. Taylor Gray taking a peek inside Ty Gibbs for second. Down into turn 3 is... I don't know if he's going to be able to hold it. I think Ty has cleared back into second. Gray's going to hold third.
Great perspective of how tight the racing is for the ARCA Menards Series at Berlin Raceway from that camera shot. Ty Gibbs, a big surprise though, I think you alluded to it, Jim. especially at Elko. Ty Gibbs dominated the restarts, just crushed everybody on the restarts. But here it's Daniel Dye getting the job done.
Corey's line back out in fourth. Looks like Jesse's fifth. Nick Sanchez still sixth. Gracie has moved her way up to seventh. Thad Moffitt currently eighth. Mason Mingus ninth, and Owen Smith is 10th. I like how they use a little bit of the apron on exit of 4.
Third place is this 17 machine for Taylor Gray. He ran Phoenix.
Back to Burger King? Oof. I can't do Burger King.
A broken or fractured ankle, fractured foot, fractured vertebrae, trouble with his spine, surgeries.
Oh, was that a Who's Line reference? Yeah, I didn't get that.
He returned to racing 1 week ago at Elko. Had a good top 5 run, and I asked his crew chief, Chad Johnson, afterwards. I said, how was he? And he said, well, he was a little bit more sore than he thought he would.
Hey, remember when we raced Chad Johnston on iRacing Tuesday this week? Not intentionally, he just randomly showed up in the race. And I beat him. Tapioca? Okay.
Corey Hyman, the 20th, 4th, 5th place running is that 15 machine for Jesse Love, who actually ran.
I do like Jesse Love's Mobile 1 scheme. That's a nice scheme.
Monday night and was running second when he had a right rear tire go down late in the race.
I really like the fact that this young driver, Jesse Love, he races out of California. He won the NASCAR West Series. Now the ARCA.
He doesn't race out of California anymore.
Won the title.
He is in North Carolina now.
And what he's also been able to do is move, transition from dirt midgets.
I mean, are the heats really ever that exciting in SRX? It's usually the main feature that's the exciting part.
He also raced the Slayer Nationals. He also got a chance to race in several other races around the
I
country.
also like Gracie's Calico Coatings paint scheme.
I think it's paying off dividends. He finished second in Elko last week.
Nick Sanchez is 6th at 25. Calico machine is Gracie Trotter, who had a good run last week at Elko, that 3rd place run. So she progresses nicely as she develops here in the ARCA Wars.
She's still trying to figure this track out, though, Bob. I said, what do you think of it now after practice? So after last week, how are you preparing? She said, watch the video. There's not a lot out.
Yeah, that's what happens in those races, Moffat Cast.
Some kind of in-car camera time. They want to see what the car is doing. Maybe pick up some throttle points. But she said, this track is so different than anywhere else I've raced. I said, any comparison anywhere? She said, no, it's just so different. The backstretch wall is not there. I'm always turning on the car. In turn 4, getting down on the apron, I'm still turning the car while I'm on the gas pedal. So it's a whole different experience. And I really believe she loved Elko because it reminded her of where she won her ARCA Menard Series West race at Las Vegas Bullring. But this young driver, she's only got 10 races.
I could see that.
Today was a challenge to get to this point, saying, you know what, I might have something, but I really don't know what to do around this racetrack or ask for what I need when it is time for that break, because I'm still trying to figure this place out.
Trotter running in 7th, and Moffitt up.
Ty Gibbs has the best paint scheme. Oh, just flat black with no decals on it. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Here at Berlin Raceway, we're inching closer to the first race break in this one. Daniel Dye leads.
I'm guessing it's 75? I don't know. I haven't heard when the brakes are going to be. I'm guessing it's 75. And we are currently on lap 56. What do I think of SRX? I think it's been great. I think it's quickly become one of the best series out there. Lap 57, running order. Daniel Dye leads by 0.8 of a second over Ty Gibbs. Taylor Gray is 3rd. Corey Heim 4th. Jesse Love 5th. Nick Sanchez 7th. Nick Sanchez 6th. Gracie Trotter 7th. Thad Moffitt 8th. Mason Mingus 9th. And Owen Smith in 10th. I have been tired all day. I feel like we've kind of lined out, and this is kind of... I feel like everybody's about where they are, about where they should be speed-wise right now. It doesn't seem like anybody's really been any faster than anybody in terms of in front of or behind them. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a hard time getting this out, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. We haven't really seen any passes for a while. We didn't even really see any passes on the restart. What do you think of ARCA talent Daniel Hemrick? I am not going to comment on that one. Eckes is a talented driver. I will agree with that. He's just had a lot of bad luck. A lot of bad luck. And now it doesn't help that he's out of the car a lot of times for at least a month at a time. That doesn't help when he gets back into the car.
That's a great view from the Lucas Oil chopper showing this circular racetrack that Daniel Dye has dominated so far. He has led every lap of this race so far, and he is the focus of the Bounty Rookie Spotlight here. 17 years old from Florida. He's right now battling for an E-Series championship as well. 5th overall in the ARCA E-Series championship.
Ran some Super 8 models last year, some high-profile events at Bristol. Finished.
I know it's still early, but it's starting to look like I need to start working on getting a Daniel Dye interview this week.
Making that quick move over to GMS. This young driver's on a path. He wants to be with the best people. He finds the Chevrolet driver's edge development.
He is talented at that. I'll give you that, Moffacast.
GMS Racing as he takes over the spot really that Jack Wood vacated to do some more NASCAR truck racing.
Hey, Dave Reef, what are they thinking about this 21 and Daniel Dye?
Well, he is the ninth guy to drive for GMS Racing, and being on such a short track, it's a great vantage point to pick him up here off of turn number 2. Just watch him scream through turns 3 and 4, and that's where we find Chad Bryant, the man who gave him this opportunity. What did you see in this young kid that he is showcasing tonight?
Oh, I mean, Daniel's doing a great job tonight, but to answer your question, what did we see in Daniel? Is anytime a kid can go to a showcase race for the super late models like the Rattler and run in the top 3, compete with Stephen Nassie, Bubba Pollard, Tom Majeski, all those people, they're really good. They got talent. Glad we got him. This is race number 3, and I feel like we're finally getting a little chemistry between the group of us. It's fun to watch us get back up in front of the 21 car like they're so used to being.
You're in contact with this team. How good is this team running right now? Do you have anything you really want to change coming up here in this first break?
You know, he hasn't really said much.
Hey, Rebecca.
Which is a good thing.
Had a birth to celebrate. Oh, congratulations.
I
I mean, we're barely over a quarter way in. We're working lap 68 of 200. We've got a little bit left. You haven't missed too terribly much. Daniel Dye's led every lap so far from the pole. No, honestly, I don't think Daniel Dye should be too hard to get, Casey. If I do need your help, though, I'll let you know. But I don't think he'll be too hard to get. Why don't you like Daniel Dye, Moffacast? Moffacast just does just want attention, I think.
Nice Saturday night drive for him thus far.
You notice where Chad was, way over there in turn 3. He's on the
If I was an unsponsored driver, I would have a hot pink car with purple flames, teal racing stripes, and a dash of chartreuse on the bottom. Are you saying that's how I should paint my F1 car?
The first race break, we're just about 5
Because that actually doesn't sound like the worst idea.
from some of these teams on how these race breaks are designed and what they're allowed to do, Jim.
Well, 1 week ago at Elko Speedway, a smaller track than this one, same situation. You had 6 tires in the pits. All the teams came
Sanchez, all over the back bumper of Jesse Love, looking for P5. Jesse's really, a little bit of bump and run there off of turn 4. Sanchez to the inside now.
He wanted to get by Jesse Love.
Jesse fighting back, though, holding him there on the high
In
side.
the pit area, to allude to what you're saying, do you take 2 now? And
Not going to give it to him.
Jesse Love starting to fall back a little bit, and Sanchez
Still holding him there on the outside. Jesse's doing a good job holding this from the outside.
Give it all he has here because the last segment of the race is about 75 laps, Bob. So if you're looking at
Of course I want attention. I'm on YouTube.
what do you have now, Nick?
Isn't that the whole point?
Sanchez is getting that move done to get the position here by about 75 laps. That's about the duration of the end of the race from the last time you get to come to pit.
And Sanchez completes the pass. Move Nick Sanchez into the top 5. Jesse Love back to
Sanchez
6th.
in the top 5, 12 seconds behind leader Daniel Dye, who is setting a torrid pace as we get closer. Just
Dye has opened up a 1.1 second lead over Ty Gibbs.
Turn number 4 run. hasn't changed much, just the grip level and the seconds on the clock.
Do something similar to KFB's 2010 Richmond Xfinity pink and purple Z-Line Designs car. I remember Z-Line. I don't remember a pink and purple one, though. I don't remember that one. Caution's out. I'm going to guess this is the first break. Yeah, we're at lap 76. It's got to be. Daniel Dye is your leader. Ty Gibbs second. Taylor Gray third. Corey Heim fourth. Nick Sanchez fifth. Jesse Love sixth. Gracie Trotter seventh. Thad Moffitt eighth. Mason Mingus ninth. And Owen Smith in 10th. Morgan Alexander still scored in 11th after his spin, currently 3 laps down. Alex Clubb 12th, 5 laps down. Zach Tinkle 13th, 30 laps down. Brad Smith 14th. I assume Brad Smith has parked it. He's 14th, 52 laps down. Tony Cosentino 15th, and Mike Basham in 16th have parked it as well. Zach Tinkle might have parked it. I'm not 100% sure if he has yet or not. It wouldn't surprise me, though, with the 06 car. Wow, MoffittCast. Getting real aggressive with this. Yeah, I don't understand why you don't like him. This car. Oh. I don't remember that car at all. Is that a My Little Pony car? I don't think it's My Little Pony. I think it's just ponies in general. Does anybody else remember this car? You can't see it real well in the camera. The pink's not really showing up as pink, but it's literally got ponies and horses on it and unicorns. Why did he run this car? I don't remember that at all. Maybe I didn't watch that race. I don't know. I mean, there's got to be a reason, MoffittCast. I mean, do you even know that much about him? He's run a few ARCA East races, but I don't understand how you can not like a guy that you haven't even seen race that much, if at all. Kind of had a funny commercial. Why do I not remember this? I feel like this is something I would have to remember, and I don't. You would think if nothing else I would remember the commercial. I don't know. I don't remember that at all. Marty Robbins in the 777. It was for a little girl who won a Toyota Sponsifier contest. Her name was Kimmy. She liked bunnies, rabbits, and little baby seals. Oh, I feel like that's... I feel like it's very vaguely coming back to me. Like, that's got to be a memory that's so deep in my head. He did? When? Where are you getting this from, MoffittCast? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the first race break in the ZInsser SmartCoat 200 for the ARCA Series at Berlin Raceway. What's going on pit road, Dave?
I mean, in all fairness, Tony's probably run the most consistent out of anybody in SRX so far, but I can't say I'm surprised that he would win the championship in his own series. Sent a video to the Discord. Oh, it's the commercial. Okay, I'll watch that after.
And they went through a right front berm, that right front off a little bit, so the crew has the hood up. They're actually making some top sight adjustments to this race car.
Corey Heim has the hood up.
Their car is not nearly as good as it's going to be after they make these changes.
You sure about that? Jesse Love also has the hood up.
Start climbing up the leaderboard a little higher than fourth when we go green.
Some work going on the 15 for Jesse Love. He comes on pit road 6th overall. Nick Sanchez in the 2 just moved by him. So lap traffic has been very interesting here for all of these drivers.
Oh yeah, I've watched him a few times.
We hear there's a little
Not a
damage to the
huge
right
fan of his
side
stuff,
Nick
if we're being
Sanchez's
honest.
car as well. We'll fill you in when we return here.
Yes, Casey is G1 NBC. That's his alter ego. ZInsser SmartCoat, I believe, is a paint company. Bussin', I think. I mean, if we're being honest, it's iRacing. Like, it's just iRacing. Like, can you really get mad at somebody for doing stuff like that on iRacing? iRacing's not as realistic as they want you to believe it is. So, can you... Well, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe DLB usually just does Carb Cup and Pickup Cup, doesn't he? So those races don't matter in the first place. So I don't really know how you can get mad at somebody for wrecking somebody, whether intentionally or not, in a race that really doesn't matter for anything. Jesse will not get love. I mean, I don't think either one of them are done. I think they're just making major adjustments on this break. Sounds like frauds. I don't know about that. Oh! Will the real Casey Campbell please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. Will the real Casey Campbell please stand up? Oh. Are we up to the feature yet in SRX? Is that what we're waiting on at this point? I am now out of drinks. It was the last thing I had to drink in this house. I guess I'm going to have to run out and buy something after the watch party. Okay, well... Now I feel like you're just... I don't know. I feel like you've got a vendetta against him for no reason, and you're just making up weird reasons not to like him. Oh, Dibsland stands up. Okay. Oh, now MoffatCast is standing up. Well, this isn't helping. We can't have more than one Casey standing up. He's gotta be. I really hope he is. I'm gonna put it that way. I really hope he's trolling.
History of short track racing in America. Some of the greatest short trackers have come from this area, including one of my favorites, Freddie Campbell, and the Bluebird, Bob Seneker, and man, this place used to go crazy when Mike Eddy would visit, especially when he wound up in Victory Lane.
He sold tickets. They didn't like it. They did not like Mike Eddy here. Wrong side of Michigan for Mike, but he won a lot.
Will they like Daniel Dye if he's able to pull into Victory Lane tonight? He's our Bounty Rookie Spotlight, and he's got a great run going, having led every single lap so far. Let's try to talk to him.
Daniel, Jim Trano in the MAVTV booth. Your car looked pretty good for the first 77 laps. What did you do to adjust for what could be a 200-lap run to the checkers?
Didn't do anything, man. Got a good beach. Brian put together a good race car. Good green year. Hopefully keep it.
What did you ask for in changes as the tires wore on this car?
Not a thing.
Wish you well. Daniel Dye short on words because you know what? He's looking in the mirror, looking out the window, looking for those lights go off on the pace cars. We're about ready to get back racing here. As the race leader, Daniel Dye.
Jim Trano can't do math confirmed.
I'm telling you, that team is still going to work.
He literally just said what could be a 200-lap run to the finish. The total race is 200 laps. We're already like 80 laps in at this point. How can we run 200 laps to the end when we've got one more break and the total race is 200 laps? Jim, come on now. Come on. Oh, the gas is Nick Bromberg.
Oh. After this first race break, Ty Gibbs, Daniel Dye leading the field to the green flag. Nice slow pace.
And green flag's back out. Ooh, Ty with a possible run on the outside. Is he going to take this? Dye's going to fight him on the bottom.
Some contact between Dye and the 21 and the 18 of Ty Gibbs.
Where do you want to watch? I heard the car bottoming out as well, man. He's got his hands
Daniel Dye still leads the lap.
Gibbs wants to get the lead.
Dye did say they didn't make any adjustments on the pit stop, and he clears Ty. Oh, Ty's going to try a crossover, though. Oh, contact! Why are we on the inside view looking at nothing? Get out of the passenger side window of Dye. Ty moved him up the track. Can't hold it on the bottom, though. Dye still leads. MAVTV, why are we looking out the passenger window of Daniel Dye's car at nothing while Ty is trying to give him a bump and run on the inside?
Slide Ty can't keep it turned into the left rear quarter, and a great move by Daniel.
Why didn't we see that the first time? Why were we stuck on the passenger side window? MAVTV, come on now, make better decisions. Dye has held the lead through all of this, though, and is starting to pull away from Ty again. Heim has moved up to third over Taylor Gray. Sanchez still holds fifth with Love 6th, Trotter 7th, and Moffitt in 8th. Mingus has moved up to 9th, and Owen Smith is 10th.
In the first portion of this race, he beat Ty Gibbs fair and square. So Ty Gibbs trying to get that maneuvering into turn 3 just didn't work that time. As Daniel Dye had a lot of speed into turn 3, and you can see the racing line's not on the bottom of that line. That line is a square on the apron. So as they went through that corner, Ty Gibbs,
this is the most oddly shaped oval track I've ever seen in my life. Like, in real life, and it's not like a fantasy track in a video game.
Behind that, it's Corey Heim. So the top two in points getting closer and closer to each other.
Well, the way things are going, I think you're going to get your wish, bussin'. Because Daniel Dye's definitely the class of the field tonight. Dave Mater's not even here, Moffat cast.
The last words of encouragement to the 18 before that green flag came out and says this is about a 45-lap run.
I don't know. When's the last time Landon tried to do any trolling? I don't know that I'd blame this on Landon.
And maybe pressed it just a little bit too far, but did a good job, as did Daniel Dye, in maintaining that. But yes, this is the middle portion of this race. This is when the teams are going to want to find out exactly what they're going to have for the final 75 laps. It's get after in time, basically.
For the final 75 laps. Okay, so the other break is going to be at 125.
We've spent some time talking about Corey Heim, but that 18 of Ty Gibbs, he got roughed up on that final restart. He got pushed out of the lead. He had dominated that race, and he fell back to 4th.
By the way, for those of you that were there for the disaster that was my first F1 race last night on the personal channel, I have figured out the issue. I have force feedback now, and it feels much better, and I don't look like such an idiot driving it now. It was mostly the force feedback issue, so hopefully things should go a lot smoother into the future now with that game.
What I see out of Corey Heim as well is equally composed. He's a little more on the brash edge of where Ty Gibbs is in terms of getting that PR training per se. But I like how Corey is not about to say nothing happened. He knows it's going to happen. He said, I raced the way I want to be raced. And he thought Ty Gibbs raced and roughed him up. They raced against each other side by side.
Heim is closing the gap to Ty Gibbs for second right now.
Albeit Ty Gibbs leading over 200.
I think Corey and that 20 team have pretty well closed the gap to Ty Gibbs. Either the 18 team is falling off, or Venturini and I guess GMS are really closing the gap to them right now.
And right now, I think Corey Heim has to be happy with how his practice was to compare to where he's running right now, because he just wasn't.
Please don't do that, Casey. I've had this number for a long time. I really don't want to change it.
After qualifying, said I had a car in Toledo that I had to work on during the race. It wasn't that great.
What was fun, Dibslin?
He was not totally comfortable in the car until the last portion of that race, because he had dropped back to 5th at one point, got into that 3rd position, as I mentioned, to get in position for that last restart. But he said, I'm kind of in between where I was worse at Toledo than I was at Elko, but I'm kind of in between there, heading into the green flag tonight at Berlin. He said, I still got to figure this out. But he said, I know Shannon Rush has a notebook, and if I'm not beyond 7, tight or loose, he has a chart at what lap we're in this run, what we need to do on the car. He can actually just worry about how the car feels and relate to that rather than wonder and compute what he has to do on the car to make it better or carry the car beyond its limits.
Corey Heim leads the Geico Championship standings for the ARCA Menard Series, but not by much.
The Geico Championship standings. I didn't realize they were sponsored.
Moffitt currently back there in 3rd, Nick Sanchez in 4th, and both of those drivers saying they need to turn things around. The drivers in 3rd and 4th.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was. It wasn't very fun from the driver's seat.
He has been in the big leagues of NASCAR. He's been here in ARCA. He's
What about my cookies? I want a cookie.
For the championship.
He's been in the championship up with Michael Self as driver last year. He went right down to the wire. He won a championship with Justin Haley in the ARCA Racing Series East just a few years ago. So in terms of battling out at this level, Shannon's got a lot of experience, and he loves David. Can't get enough of him.
Halfway through, Daniel Dye has led every lap so far. Leads by 1.4 seconds over Ty Gibbs. Corey Heim third. Taylor Gray fourth. Jesse Love fifth. Nick Sanchez sixth. Gracie Trotter seventh. Thad Moffitt eighth. Mason Mingus ninth. Owen Smith 10th.
It's a science for sure for all these crew chiefs and engineers, but at the same time, there's a little old school feel to racing. Sometimes some superstition as well. You mentioned Michael Self. This is the car that Corey Heim is running tonight. That Michael Self dominated that race at Pensacola a few years ago at Five Flags Speedway.
Oh.
And it's one of the best cars in the Venturini Motorsport stables. In fact, it's the same car that Corey Heim won with last week at Elko.
I do believe
Okay. So, for anybody that didn't catch that, that's actually extremely interesting. The car that Corey Heim is driving tonight, same car that he won at Elko last week, and it's also the same car that Selfie won at Five Flags a couple of years ago with. Apparently it's their best short track car. Oh, hey, Andy. Thought I was just going to stop here, but now I'm staying. Okay. You are welcome to stay. Yeah, Morgan Alexander in the 50, he's the only one that's wrecked so far. He spun. The only other caution was the brake on lap 75. Otherwise, it's been pretty clean so far. Okay, so working lap 107, of course, the lead is now 2 seconds. Daniel Dye back to Ty Gibbs. The longer we go into the night, it seems the better Daniel Dye is getting, or maybe the worse Ty Gibbs is getting. Because Corey had caught up to him, and now they've got a second and a half between each other. Looks like they're about to start the feature for the SRX race. Yeah, you're not completely wrong, Andy. There'll be an ultimate ARCA break. I don't know. See, that's the thing. We really haven't seen that many instances of ARCA breaks in ARCA for a while now. I don't know. You do every once in a while, but it's not as prevalent as it used to be. Yeah, you're right, Dibslin. They have been a lot cleaner in recent years. See you, Casey. Definitely don't have the ARCA brakes issues that we used to have.
Halfway through the ARCA Menard Series event at Berlin Raceway, here's the Richmond Water Heaters mid-race recap. On the front row, Daniel Dye and Ty Gibbs. And it's been those two the entire distance so far.
Why is the SRX race 77 laps? That's a very weird number.
Spot number 3, the number 15 of Jesse Love pinned his teammate, the number 20 of Corey Heim behind for that spot.
There's a battle between those teammates.
Next super speedway race would be... Let's see, we got Iowa, Winchester, Watkins Glen. It'd be Michigan. And we're like a month from that because I think that's August 20th.
Daniel Dye, nice move, a sweet move.
And then he had to have another sweet move nomination.
No, there's still a few because we've got Michigan, Kansas is the season finale. I think those are the only ones left, Michigan and Kansas. I think everything else is a short track, a dirt track, or a road course. I think. I don't think there's any that I'm forgetting. Unless you want to count like Milwaukee as a super speedway, but I don't think that's big enough to be a super speedway. You'll be at Michigan, Andy? So will I.
Because it was a Venturini sweep all 3 drivers on the podium. And of course, this Big Bill, it's the second time you've been able to enjoy 3 drivers on the podium. How special was last Saturday night in Elko?
Oh, definitely. You know, we've only done it one other time. That was at Iowa, where we had a 1-2-3 finish. So yeah, it means a lot to us. You know, put my guys work in. I gotta tell you, they put a lot of hours and a lot of hard work. So it's not me. It's mostly my guys and my son.
I would assume there'll be fans, Andy. Yes.
Honest, though, as those laps were winding down and the way that race was going on, did you even see that coming the way it played out?
Oh heck no. You know, no way. You know, well I knew when the yellow came out with 5 laps to go that somebody was gonna win, and I didn't think it was gonna be Ty. I mean, I just, you know, my guys were really hungry, and Ty's been kicking our butt this year, so they felt like, you know, and they were kind of ganged up on him anyhow.
And you can't count out Corey Heim yet. Yes, Daniel Dye has led the most laps so far tonight, but Ty Gibbs did it last week, and we all know how that turned out. Pretty dramatic, for sure. Thank you, sir.
These have been some pretty weird, random pit box interviews from Dave Reeves. Like, we interviewed Shannon Rush on, like, lap 10. Now a random Big Bill interview in the middle of the race. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just weird. Not what I'm expecting to see right now.
The guy out of Chicago builds his own team, has the all-female pit crew at one point.
Oh yeah, the Venturinis all have very thick Chicago accents.
Basically what is an empire with his wife Kathy. That team is important to the future of this sport.
And when he mentioned his guys, Billy Venturini
Was
is
Bobby
son,
Labonte in NASCAR when Chase started? I don't think so.
He became more of a mentor to young drivers, and a lot of drivers have come through.
Yeah, I think Bobby had retired by the time Chase had his rookie season in Cup. I'm pretty sure.
Like we saw Michael Self racing for a championship. Chris Jackis won a championship here and got his chance in the NASCAR Truck Series in recent years. So Shannon Rush, Kevin Reed, Billy Venturini, they are at the shop. Lights are always on because they're never home. They're always at the shop during the week. So that whole build, that mold of getting it done, the dedication.
So we're about 3 laps now from the second break, I do believe. Working lap 123.
ARCA Series team ownership.
And now there are several different teams vying for prominence here in the ARCA Menard Series. I mentioned Venturini Motorsports.
I assume Ashton was talking about Chase Elliott. Oh yeah, it is Chase Elliott. Okay.
Over the past several years, Sheldon Creed capturing that championship for that team a few years ago. They too have a shot.
Was it 2016? I thought he retired a couple years before that. I couldn't remember exactly when he did. Which, wouldn't that have been Chase's rookie year? Was it 2016 or 2017 that was Chase's rookie year? I think it was 2016.
Aspects of it, and getting their workouts in and sitting down and analyzing tape together with Cup guys. Come on, that's all available, but that's made possible with these team relationships on this level on up through the NASCAR Cup Series with Chevrolet and Toyota taking the charge.
There is the caution. Break number 2, and what is possibly the final caution of the night. Running order, lap 126. Under the final break, Daniel Dye is your leader. He led by 1.6 seconds at the time of the caution over Ty Gibbs. Corey Heim is 3rd, Taylor Gray 4th, Jesse Love 5th, Nick Sanchez 6th, Gracie Trotter 7th, Thad Moffitt 8th, Mason Mingus 9th, and Owen Smith in 10th.
You're running top 5 right now. This is the time to do it. We expect 4 General tires going on these cars during the second race break.
One more chance for these teams, these drivers, to make some changes.
Last race was the 2016 Geico 500. Okay. 2015 was Chase's first season. Are you sure? Was that the year he ran 5 races? That wasn't his rookie season, was it? He didn't start that early. Hang on, I'm gonna have to racing reference this. Well, I am the 180 of an elephant, but I don't think that applies in this scenario. I'm gonna racing reference this, if nothing else, just for my own clarity. Okay, yes, 2015 was the year Chase ran 5 races. 2016 was his rookie season. Bobby Labonte let's see. Okay, so 2016, yes, was the last year he ran anything. He ran 4 races in 2016. He ran both Daytona races and both Talladega races in 2016, and those were his last races in the 32 car for Go Fast. Okay, so technically, yes, Chase did race a few races against Bobby Labonte. Not many, but he ran a few. No, ARCA's every week now until I think September. I think September is the next off week for ARCA between main ARCA and ARCA West. Pretty sure there's at least one ARCA race every weekend between now and then. Next weekend, we've got 2 weekends from now. Main ARCA at Winchester, ARCA West at Colorado on the same night. So that's going to be annoying.
ZInsser SmartCoat. Plan smart, buy smart, paint smart. ZInsser SmartCoat. Available at Menards. Richmond Water Heaters. The water heater experts. Hers. Forever good. And by Suchi.
Almost fell off your chair.
Plumbing, drainage, supply, and support products.
Did I say something funny?
Warren, Michigan is about 12
I don't even know what I said.
Grand Rapids, the second biggest city in the state of Michigan. Population here about 3,000.
Oh, because you're trying to reach your orange juice. Nice.
Have come to the racetrack. We are under the second race break of this one. Daniel Dye has led the entire distance so far in that Solar Fit 21.
Trying to get an advantage point here. We see Chad Bryant. We talked to him.
What's interesting is Daniel Dye already is doing better in this 21 car than Jack Wood ever did. And I mean, I don't want to badmouth Jack Wood, but he just never really put up much in the way of performance in that car. And Daniel Dye is already going out here and looking like he could win tonight. Jack Wood never put up a performance where it looked like he could win one of these races. I believe ZInsser SmartCoat is paint. I think it's a paint company.
Here's what I like about
I'll have to double check that, but I think they're a paint
July,
company.
All live on MAVTV for the ARCA Menards series.
Yes, I do.
Tracks. We went from Elko, the tiniest track on the circuit, to this one, probably the most unique.
Is it paint? I'm
Next
gonna double check that, because I'm pretty sure they had the CEO or somebody from ZInsser on the pre-race on here, and I'm pretty sure I heard him say that they had paint.
The end of the month, we go to the world's fastest half mile, the highest bank
Advanced wall paint and primer in one. Advanced wall paint and primer in one. Okay, so yes, it is paint. It is paint.
It's going to be great with the ARCA Menards East teams and the teams from
In the
the
words
national
of my
circuit
friend,
duking it out.
what to do for those
We have plenty
races.
to go here tonight.
Yeah, right? How's SRX doing right now that we're on break? Oh. Wait, are we having a fun flag? Is that what's happening on SRX right now? I like how they repainted part of Bill's car, since he's got a different car. Part of it is purple, and part of it is orange. I'm impressed at how fast he is tonight. Are we about to see a Bill Elliott win? That's a valid question, Dibslin. Do I get a cookie? Or no, wait, do you want a cookie? I can't give you a cookie. Do I get a cookie though? That's the real question here. Oh, TK's back. I didn't even realize TK was in this race. I couldn't tell you the last time I watched an IMSA race, to be honest. Per range. Okay. No. No cookie for you. No soup for you. A 95 field crash. Honestly, I don't ever know what's going on in this chat, Ashton. Nobody ever starts yelling at each other and starts, like, cussing each other out or flaming each other, so I'm like, whatever. As long as you're all at least respectful to each other, I don't have a problem with it, but it does get a little strange sometimes. What kind of cookies do I like? Honestly, I'll eat just about any kind of cookie except for, like, oatmeal raisin. I can't do oatmeal raisin. Those are disgusting. Ended because of thunder? Or ended because of lightning? Thunder is the sound. Lightning is the actual, the bolt of electricity. No, Chase is in the SRX race. I mean, he'll probably fly back tonight.
Rapids, Michigan, near the shores of Lake Michigan, the ZInsser SmartCoat 200 for the ARCA Series at Berlin Raceway. The race break number 2 is done. Taylor Gray is in the top 5. Jim Trado is going to try to check with him.
Taylor, Jim Trado on the MAVTV booth really quick here. What'd you guys do on that stop to get in contention to win this one?
Oh, we just loosened up a little bit with this 4-car stop. See what puts here. Gotta be patiently aggressive.
We wish you well. I know it's 1 to go. I'll let you get back to business. Taylor Gray, I think, has a lot more than what he's telling us here in this race car.
Oatmeal raisin for people over 60. You know what? That's probably about right.
Not leading any laps until this point of the race. What are they saying?
Peanut butter cookies are pretty good. I prefer peanut butter cookies that don't have actual peanuts in them, but I can deal with those. But yes, peanut butter cookies are pretty good.
Very cautious, very, very confident. His driver hasn't said anything. He says, guys, don't touch this. Put 4 tires on. Let's go win this thing. That's pretty strong words for 17.
What's oatmeal?
Second ARCA start this year.
Ooh, yeah. I don't think you want to know, Andy. If you don't know what oatmeal is, I don't think you want to know.
And the teams that have never been here before,
Oatmeal
it's a
cream
guessing game.
cookie
Chad Johnson's a great
sandwich.
cook sheet, but Taylor Gray and Chad,
I used to like those. I haven't had one of those in a long
to
time.
this Michigan Open. We'll see how things change here as the temperatures continue to drop.
Do you not know what oatmeal is either, Mom? How do you guys not know what oatmeal is? I don't like oatmeal, but I know what it is. Green flag is back out. Ty with a little bit of a jump. Ooh, a little bit of contact off of 2. And Daniel Dye is going to retake the lead. Ty's going to look to the inside. Not going to be able to get there, though. Looks like Taylor might retake the... Oh, we got a car around that looks like Gracie. It is Gracie. Okay.
I think she was down on the apron. Don't know if she got contact to that 25, but Gracie tried her 3rd place run last week. Spins it out here on lap 130.
Running about 7th on the restart. Gracie told me before the race, she said, when I have 4 new tires on, that's about the only time I can get on the gas pedal all the way to the floor in the front stretch and back stretch. I think she may have been anticipating a chance to get clean and get some spots there, but on the inside, it closed up in a hurry off of turn 4.
The Lucas Oil Chopper providing us this highlight, the Auto Park It replay, and there's a little contact between Thad Moffitt and the...
Oh, Thad turned her off of 4.
Under Nick Sanchez, that cleared, but then Thad Moffitt thought he had a spot on the inside there to make it 3 wide for a
Like
second.
a white... Oh, okay, that's another one I can't do. I cannot do white chocolate macadamia. I'm not a big fan of nuts in general. And I know where a couple of you are going to take that. I don't like nuts.
And she said, absolutely not.
Like, I can do nuts if I... Okay, I'm just going to stop because I know where y'all are going to take this, and I'm going to stop right now. I'm just going to say I don't like nuts. Speaking of cookies, though...
Because it's really been a divisive racetrack. Either you like it and you get used to it, or you don't like coming here whatsoever. That's my experience anyway over the years. Hopefully she can straighten things out and get back in contention here after that spin. But that's fresh rubber.
Double chocolate.
A little bit, so it'll take her a while to get those temps back in those tires.
We've talked about
She's spinning right around, right around.
Of one driver. And right now, that number 10 machine, Owen Smith, having a very good run here, hoping for a top 10 finish. He doesn't have one in ARCA competition after 14 starts.
I said can't. I said can't do nuts. Thank you very much.
This is an effort that he's put together. He's going to graduate from the University of
Milkies?
Ohio on August 5th. And
what's a Milky? That's something I don't know. What's a Milky?
The UNOH program tied to ARCA brought him there as an opportunity to drive the hauler, work with the team on weekends, and now this driver gets a chance out of Virginia to go racing the ARCA Menard Series, and I think he's got a real good shot at his first top 10 here tonight.
That motorsports program at UNOH is spectacular. Really provides people with some opportunities to learn the motorsports scene and possibly get themselves a job after they graduate. There is Thad Moffitt. We talked about that contact with Gracie Trotter, which brought out this caution. It looks like he's okay.
Clean Harbor's a sponsor in his car. He's trying to look for funding to go a full year. So we're talking about a lot of guys fighting for a position, get that funding. We saw Thad now just duck to pit road here as they're about ready to go to green.
So maybe there is something wrong with the 46 car. That's a bad break for the driver that came into today's race third in the standings, Dave.
Does anybody... Okay, am I the only one? Does anybody else know what Milkies are? I've never heard of a Milky.
I'm not sure if they have perhaps an engine issue, but the team quickly noticed that there was some smoke coming from that car. They've done a quick survey of the damage, and before, well, they're not going to make it back out here. But Moffitt is going to resume at the tail of this field.
Green flag's back out. Ty did not get near as good of a jump that time. And Daniel Dye going to quickly be back into the lead off of 2.
Wants to go to that outside, but he doesn't want to relinquish that inside line, and he might have done it there to Taylor Gray.
Are we talking like Milk Duds? Is that just another name for a Milk Dud?
Settles back in here. Let's tie in on that spot in second.
Okay, Milk Duds don't bounce, so apparently it's not the same thing.
The first part before the first race break, 75 laps. But Dave, Ty Gibbs just not
Milky Way candy bars? Milky Way... Those don't bounce. I don't know what...
Holding the bottom side of this racetrack, so if he's going to think he's going to get underneath the 21 on the bottom, this is a car that maybe isn't...
Wait, okay, is it Milky Ways or Milk Duds? Because neither of those bounce, and Andy said they bounce.
Outside is the tough way around
I don't know.
racetrack, and I've seen late models do it, but this is a little heavier stock car, and that presents a little bit more of a challenge.
And well, it may take 4 or 5 or 6 laps in a late model to get positioned to pass someone. And we'll see two-wide racing for longer periods here historically at Berlin Raceway. But this pace that Daniel Dye has had, Ty didn't have a chance to stay even with the guy who's led every lap thus far. He's going to have to do something dramatic here without the advantage of having a race break to make those adjustments here. The car handling just doesn't seem to be right tonight for the first time in 2021 for Ty Gibbs.
You've been coming to Berlin Raceway for a long time. So have I, from the ASA days, and watching late model races here and watching some of the great drivers come and go to victory lane or not here at this racetrack. But I love what they've done with this place. They have really advanced it to modern day. It used to be one of those good old short tracks, but the amenities for the fans here and through some of the management of this racetrack, and now Jeff Striegel taking over, they make this racetrack...
Am I wearing Milk Duds?
Mike Worsley's now back as the president.
Oh, I've never heard that term for... No. Literally never heard that. Is that a new thing? Am I too old for that? Is that a new term? Because I've never heard that.
That's all on concrete. They have a sipping saloon right in the middle of the grandstand, so people can belly up to the bar and have a drink while they're watching their favorite drivers. And they build heroes here. They have a lot of great racing content. A lot of great traditional teams have stayed here as weekly racers that have really made this rabid fan base even more enjoyable to watch as they respond to national series like ARCA Menard Series when they come to town.
Now some of these drivers...
Meanwhile, back to the race. Mason Mingus is up to 7th.
You know, Frank Kimmel,
so there is that.
Who has won here 3 times, and you have some really big names in terms of the winners.
Who turned Chad off? I didn't turn Chad off.
Who is a winner in the
Should I turn Chad off? Are we all going to play nice?
Eric Jones, competitor for Richard Petty Motorsports in the NASCAR Cup Series. Chris Buescher as well. So there are some big names that have gotten to victory lane here. But Frank Kimmel, I'll tell you what, he knows a thing or two about, I think, every racetrack in America.
He said, I love this track, and he's pointing to the grandstands when I talked to him today. He said, this is a really cool place. These are...
Taylor has retaken 3rd from Corey Heim.
With Frank Kimmel, Dave Reed. He's with them now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This guy loves hanging out with that guy to talk about all things ARCA.
Hey, it's Frank Kimmel.
Champion, you are, Mr. ARCA. You are revealing to me just how much you love this place and the great memories you have here. Tell us some stories.
Well, it's just one hell of a racetrack, and the fans here are just second to none. And I remember coming here a long time ago, and we signed autographs till 1 o'clock in the morning or something. It was crazy, and ARCA cars have always put on such a good show here, but all the history and all the great drivers that's won here, it's a pretty special place just to get the opportunity to come race.
You ready to go see Larry Clement, your old championship 46 in Iowa next week?
Well, you know, Larry Clement was responsible for me, you know, getting where we were, and we had a lot of great years racing together, and he's always been a special friend, and it's great to see him get some recognition because he was a big part of that Iowa Speedway for a long time.
Forward to that as well. You are a good man. Thank you.
That 46 car was something special in ARCA for the Kimmels.
Great notoriety as well. National sponsor, the National Cork Board. They also had advanced auto parts around their car. They brought a lot of profile. Show car program. It was a really top-notch deal. I do want to say one more thing about the winners list we showed you. Eric Jones winning here at age 15. Huge deal. Family was here hanging out. He waited after the race till everybody got an autograph. And I was amazed, and really the Venturini team that he came here with was really on top of their game to win that race. But I think that really helped them get another awareness level.
I wasn't planning on saying that. I don't know what that's what that would be, but I take it sounds like something else when I say it out loud, and I'm not gonna do it. Oh, I get it now. No. I mean, it's not far from the truth, but yes, it does, Bussin'. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I believe the teams that made the right call are going to go forward. The teams that are struggling, unfortunately for the 46 of Thad Moffitt, it's his team that's the obvious one among the points contenders, not having the best of times here. It's going to happen quickly, and teams are going to fall off the pace, and unfortunately, you had to get it right. And that's been 25, 27 laps from ago already. We got teams in the top 10 that are 9, 10 seconds off the pace of this young driver out of Florida, Daniel Dye, the number 21.
Thad Moffitt is now laps down, running in 10th. Actually, 1 lap down, right behind Owen Smith in that 10 machine. That's right on board with the bounty.
Yeah, if Casey hasn't already left, he probably has by now.
Around this 0.4 of a mile oval here in Berlin.
Meanwhile, Daniel Dye leads by 1.4 seconds. This is kind of cool. I'm enjoying riding with Daniel Dye right now.
He is with that throttle. And you know, we've seen a history of first-time ARCA winners here at this racetrack. 10 total in the history.
Is that surprising at this point? Willie T wrecks like every week.
And in fact, the last 2 winners here back in 2016 and 2018, first-time winners, Joe Garth and Dalton Sargent.
Daniel Dye, everything's clicking. We're looking at the stopwatch. He's not losing a lot of speed on that one beautiful lap we got of him in the car. He passed 2 lap cars and still put in the 4th fastest lap in the top 10 in terms of lap speeds that lap around. So this car is rolling free and fast with Chad Ryan making the right call on that pit stop.
Oh, Casey is here.
1.5 advantage over Ty Gibbs. Gray then behind Gibbs. Gray is 4.3 seconds behind leader Daniel Dye.
I figured Casey had noped out by now.
Able to keep the car down on the racetrack, and by now those lap cars are paying attention to Omega. They were not fighting through handling issues. They now know what they have at this point in the race with 40 laps to go. And Ty Gibbs, well, we're going to keep an eye on the 1.4-second difference now. See if Ty now has said, okay, I know what I have in my race car. I got to push it. Now's the time to go.
Well, listen, we can talk about how good Daniel Dye has been and that everybody made those changes and hasn't showed anything. A yellow flag and a couple of restarts will erase everything because all bets will be off at that point.
Joe Garth Jr. won a race here in 2018. 2016 we went overtime after a lot of different things happened. The last 2 times.
The infamous 2018 Berlin race.
2018, Joe Garth muscled his way into contention, popped a couple of cars out of the way. green-white together finish, he ended up banging into Zane Smith and taking the lead away. I mean, there's a lot going on in the last 5 laps. So we get a late caution. It's going to be exciting.
He wrecked everybody except the pace car that night.
Let's take a look at that race from 2018.
Oh boy, here we go. Why are we going to highlights of 2018 when Corey just looked inside Taylor Gray? They're literally nose to nose right now, and we're just going to look at highlights from 2018. MAVTV, what are you doing? I don't mind looking at these highlights, but do it when nothing's happening.
First and only time in his ARCA career.
We had a line of people that wanted to talk to him, not just about what he ate for lunch or how he's going to celebrate. They wanted a piece of Joe Graf that night.
Yeah, there was a little contact with Chandler Smith. That contact with Zane Smith. Oh, yes.
And then we don't even go back to that battle once we come out of the highlights. What are you doing? Who's running the board for this? You're fired. Well, it looks like Corey took the spot. You wouldn't know it, though. The only reason you do know it is because they just went to the start-finish line camera as we went to break, and Corey just came by in front of Taylor. Whoever's running the board for MAVTV, you're fired. That was ridiculous. Wait, was he really Dibsland? Did not know that was a person. So, your running order at lap 171. We're under 30 laps to go. From Berlin, Daniel Dye leads by 1.8 seconds over Ty Gibbs. Corey Heim third. Taylor Gray fourth. Jesse Love fifth. Nick Sanchez sixth. Mason Mingus seventh. Gracie Trotter eighth. Owen Smith ninth. Morgan Alexander is up to 10th. It looks like Thad Moffitt has retired. He's currently scored in 12th. 16 laps down. Huh. It'd been nice if they would have mentioned that. Paul Tracy hasn't wrecked yet? Is this going to be the first race he doesn't wreck this year? Maybe he learned his lesson at Slinger. $15 to go. I'm surprised that ARCA's only going to take slightly longer than SRX at this rate.
Pagano, driver of the number 22 Menards Chevrolet Dallara in the Entity IndyCar Series, and you're watching the ARCA Menards Series on MAVTV.
Does Simon Pagano even know what the ARCA Menards Series is? I feel like ARCA's not even on his radar.
The ARCA Menards Series, they have been involved with ARCA for the last 13 years.
Great activation as well. Great partner. They've got sponsorship going throughout the series. ZInsser is only available at Menards stores. They're involved in this. They're buying in on how they can get exposure through racing at Menards, through the Menards partnership.
I'm a customer too. I go to Menards many times, sometimes a little bit too much according to my wife Angie, and I've used the ZInsser SmartCoat. I tell you what, it does a great job.
As far as wall primer goes, nothing compares. You put that stuff on. I had a really crazy wall in the house we bought a couple years ago. Put that on, one coat.
Absolutely. Covers everything for sure. And speaking of covering everything, Dave Reeve.
Language. What did you say, Andy? I mean, I don't think I'm going to get demonetized for something you say in the chat. I'd prefer you didn't say anything that would get me demonetized if I would say it, but I'm not demonetized in the first place. I'm not monetized yet. This channel's not to that point yet.
They are hoping, they are praying, if you will, for a late race caution. They figure that may be the only shot they got, unless Daniel Dye makes a mistake.
Yeah, that's pretty much going to be the only shot Ty has at this point, is if there's a caution, and we're down to 20 to go, so if it's going to happen, it's going to happen fairly soon.
Because that bump came from Corey Heim and booted him out of the way and out of victory lane.
Yeah, great look there at the number Mason Mingus back.
I did not say big money at Menards. Sounds like Bob Dillner did, though. Possessed by a demon. That wouldn't surprise me, honestly. That might be an upgrade. That might be an upgrade to my personality.
The 18 is rolling, the 21's rolling. I mean, Mason's no slouch, and he can get it done, but not today. He's got a car that now just won a lap down for the first time. He's now back
20 to go. Daniel Dye now leads by 2.4 seconds over Ty Gibbs. Corey Heim third. Taylor Gray fourth. Jesse Love fifth. Nick Sanchez sixth. Mason Mingus seventh. Gracie Trotter eighth. Owen Smith ninth. Morgan Alexander 10th. Man, they are really having to slice through the lap traffic now.
And that's something that you can do with the ARCA Menards series as well.
And we're down to only the top 6 on the lead lap. Mingus and Trotter have both been lapped now.
Surprised many by the speed he had late in that 400-lap race at the National Fairgrounds Speedway just a few years ago in a partial run. He also had a chance to run here in the ARCA Menards Series last year, and he just said, I don't want to do that just yet. I've got some business to attend to, and I can't put my full attention on it. So that team actually at Pensacola and Five Flags Speedway, they had a team all locked in with Mason as the driver, and Mason said, I can't make it. So they put another driver in the car instead.
Did he just say Mason was at Nashville a few years ago? That was a few weeks ago. Did I hear him right?
Then he went to Legends cars, won there as well. Late model stock cars, pro late models, super late models.
I feel like Andy's trolling. I don't think that's actually happened.
I asked him at one point, I said, how was Corey, coming through the ranks? And he said he was always a very patient, aggressive driver. He was always one that was able to, just play the mind game and go on the attack when he needed.
According to timing and scoring, we're still green. So I think Andy is just trolling.
A couple of years ago, when he ran for Chad Bryant, he didn't have that killer instinct. Now he certainly does. He knows what he wants out of these race cars, especially with the help of Venturini Motorsports, and he's going after it. The point leader right now, and that would be, honestly, if he were able to capture the crown, capture this championship, to many, that would be a big upset.
And what he's able to do is able to work with a team, Chad Bryant Racing, and as well as the Venturini Motorsports team. In his limited time in the ARCA Menards Series, just the last 3 seasons, this is his 26th race, Bob, his worst finish.
I don't even think he knows, Bussin'.
Every race he's raced in. The 11th place finish came at National Fairgrounds Speedway where the window net dropped, and he had to come to pit road. Otherwise, it'd be top 10s. Considering the level of competition he's faced here while racing late models and super late models, Corey Haim's done an amazing job at this level. That's why Toyota said, let's keep an eye on this guy. Let's give him a truck start at Darlington. His next will be in the Kyle Busch Motorsports truck in October at Martinsville Speedway.
Taylor Gray, a very impressive story as well. He rides right behind Heim in that 4th spot in that Ripper Coffee Company number 17 for David Gilliland.
Ripper Coffee Company.
We mentioned that automobile accident earlier this year.
I just realized that. Is this the first time Taylor Gray's had an actual sponsor and it's not just been a Ford paint scheme? I think this might be the first time.
But behind him right now, Jesse Love in that 15 is starting to catch Taylor Gray, and Jesse Love having another good run after finishing second 1 week ago at Elko.
And Jesse's found some speed here. He was actually 4 or 5 car lengths back, but through this traffic run, he's closing the gap on this Mobil 1 Toyota to the backside of Taylor Gray in that black number 17.
Okay, so Jesse Love has caught Taylor Gray.
Trotter now just going down a lap for the first time.
And just to give you some perspective right now, there are only 2 drivers in the 17-second bracket. And that's Daniel Dye and Ty Gibbs. And by the way, the last lap, Ty Gibbs was 0.2 of a second faster than Daniel Dye, even though the margin between those two is 2 seconds. But everybody beyond that is 18 seconds or more. So those top 2 drivers, they're head and shoulders above everybody else. But yet Taylor Gray and Jesse Love, fourth.
It's a flag that's fun.
Fighting for all it's worth late in the stages of this one.
Like the last 2 years.
6 laps to go, 1.7 second lead for Daniel Dye, looking for his first career win and looking to be the first person not named Corey Heim or Ty Gibbs to win this season. 5 to go. Drop back, Jesse.
How about 5 to go? And only your second.
I don't think Jesse's going to do that, Dibsland.
Closing in on your victory. What is he thinking right now?
He
Which Elliott, Landon? You got to specify that for this race. For the SRX race. 4 laps to go down the backstretch.
He's an aggressive guy. We got to calm him down in the race car sometimes. But his ability to pick
3 laps to go from Berlin. Ty's closing in. The lead is under 1.3 seconds now. I don't know if Dye is just taking it easy at this point or what, but the gap is shrinking. Not quick enough, but the gap is shrinking.
Ty Gibbs has closed down the gap between first and
See you, Rebecca. Thanks for hanging out.
1 second. Now the disparity between first and second is Daniel.
He hasn't technically won yet, Dibslin.
We'll be coming to the 1 to go this time.
White flag in the air for Daniel Dye.
Here comes Ty Gibbs in a huge run.
Ty Gibbs
Wait, Ty has closed the gap. He is 2 car lengths back.
3 and 4, but unless he uses the front bumper,
Where did he come from? He's not going to get there, though. He closes it to a car length off of 4. Daniel Dye wins. Where did Ty Gibbs come from? I did not think he was closing the gap that quick. All right, hang on. Let me get the tweet sent out. Then we'll talk.
And Daniel Dye is going to be able to experience that in victory lane tonight.
Ty gave a run at the finish. Ty gave a run for the lead on a restart. Daniel Dye answered each and every challenge. We're going to hear from him in victory lane tonight. First-time winner at ARCA Menard Series at Berlin Raceway. Would you say for the 3rd straight year?
3rd straight year.
Awesome.
Incredible. We'll hear from Daniel Dye as he celebrates here at Berlin Raceway.
I'm just amazed. I don't know where Ty came from right there at the end. All of a sudden, he's just there, like, out of nowhere. I'm not sure if Daniel was just, like, backing off and taking it easy and maybe took it a little too easy for the last few laps, but he almost gave it away. I'm not really sure what happened there. Either way, though, first career win for Daniel Dye. Brad Smith with a top 15. All right. All right, so your results for tonight. Daniel Dye is your winner. Ty Gibbs in second. Came close at the end. I don't know where he came from, but he came close at the end. Corey Heim, P3. Taylor Gray, 4th. Jesse Love, 5th. Nick Sanchez, 6th. Mason Mingus, 7th. Gracie Trotter, 8th. Owen Smith, 9th. Morgan Alexander, 10th. Alex Clubb, 11th. Thad Moffitt, 12th. Zach Tinkle, 13th. Brad Smith, 14th. Tony Costantino, 15th. And Mike Basham in 16th. All right, what all did I miss here? Drop back Ty. Yeah, that's how it works with YouTube, Andy. It's happening in real time for me, but you're seeing what's happening on the stream, I don't know, like 10 seconds later, 10, 15 seconds. I don't know how long it is, but yeah, there's definitely a delay. There's nothing I can really do about it. That's just how YouTube works. Root for Toyota. Oh, hey, short track thing. Berlin is my home track. Oh, that's cool. Still running. Yeah, I don't know. The last time might have been Brett Moffitt last year. Or no, it was probably Sam Mayer last year. The last time somebody besides Toyota won.
Of this season in the ARCA Menard Series, and you can see tears of joy in the cockpit of that car before he climbs out victorious.
I can't copyright short track, and I got to keep a good relationship with ARCA. Otherwise, I can't keep doing the things that I do. at the track.
Last week, a top 10 run. He's going to celebrate and climb out victorious in front of a packed crowd tonight in Marne, Michigan. Dave Reef, he's in a state of disbelief.
And you cannot keep a first-time winner from showing that pure Michigan emotion. How special a moment is this?
I don't know, man. I'm freaking out. We led every lap. Ty got into me there. I thought it was over. Hanover, dude, I don't know. I don't have words right now. This is crazy. Beating Ty Gibbs and Corey Heim, and we led every lap. I'm worn out. It's unreal. It's so cool.
The question was asked in the MAVTV booth. I guarantee everybody watching this race was asking and wondering the same thing. What is going on? How are you processing this race as the laps wind down and the pressure goes up?
Chad just told me to think of it as a quarter midget race, and I want a lot of those things. So he calmed me down. He kept me focused. I just kept doing the same thing every lap, and I don't feel real quite yet. This is a dream come true.
Just your second race too. I mean, I don't even know how you begin to quantify.
I got the same understanding that you do. I don't know either, man. This is awesome. Like, I'm so happy.
What's the first phone call you're gonna make when you get that cell phone back in your hand?
I'm sure my Nana right now is blowing up my phone. I don't know. I probably won't get a chance to call somebody. She's probably still calling me right now. But my sister's watching at home. She's probably crying. My Nana's probably crying. It's just,
big time down in the Sunshine State, and I know there's a bunch of guys around here that want to get in ground or you congratulate you. Daniel Dye, congratulations, my friend. You got
well, that's cool. It's always cool to see the emotion.
He's going to wake up in the hotel. And
you can tell that this definitely means a lot to him.
First ARCA Series event, he gets it done here. Third winner of the year.
What happened with SRX? I didn't see the finish. Did oh, Landon says Chase won. Okay. Wait. They're both William Clyde. Which William Clyde? They're literally both William Clyde. So you gotta be more specific than that, Landon. Which William Clyde? Oh, Bill was third. Okay. So Chase was the winner. Okay. Because Bill technically is actually William Clyde as well. That was something. It got a little exciting there at the end. Ty almost took it.
You like numerology? I do. Nick Sanchez.
Do you?
Straight top 10 finish. And how about his third straight 6th place run? I'm sure he's not going to be happy with that.
Third straight 6th place run for Nick Sanchez, but 8th straight top 10.
I guarantee it wasn't for a lack of trying.
Ty Gibbs.
You know that Ty Gibbs put the pedal to the metal there and did everything he could, but it's not very often when you run into something like that. In fact, you've done it to a lot of people.
Yeah, you know,
You've been dominant.
Thank you. So, you know, I feel like, you know, overall we had a really good night. You know, we just got beat there. Congratulations to Daniel and their team. You know, they did a good job and they won. I just felt like we just lacked a little bit of speed. I feel like we'll go back and work on it. My guys never give up, and you know, this is a part of the plan. So, you know, I feel like the ingredients to winning sometimes is losing. You got to learn from it.
It hadn't been that long since you were that guy the first time, and you've done it a lot of times. You remember what that emotion was like?
Yeah, you know, it's awesome getting your first win, and you know, you have a bunch of heartbreaks before it, and you push through and get it. So, you know, really cool for, you know, Daniel to get his win, and congratulations to him and their whole 21 group. So, you know, we'll move on to Iowa.
And officially close it down to a single point, heading to the backside of this
Single
season.
point?
And he's pretty good.
How did he gain 6 points?
He's been to victory lane there before, maybe
With Corey right behind him, how did Ty gain 6 points?
Wins in his young career.
What?
In the ARCA Menards series, but the first.
How?
Floridian, the teenager,
I'm so confused.
Get the directions of where to stand, how to smile, and it's all.
I'm so confused.
For that young driver. Who really has had a chance at every level to perform.
Dave Reef, the king of awkward interviews, never fails to amaze. We're probably going to get a Corey Heim interview at the very least here in a moment.
And for this success for this team, all built around Chad Bryant and his guys at GMS Racing, putting the effort forth with those resources. Congrats to their team and their first big win.
Hey, Dave Reeve, with the way the day started for Corey Heim and that team, I'm sure he's pretty pleased with a third-place run.
Absolutely. And, that short track Saturday night thing we thought might develop never really did. It was a pretty quiet race, a pretty consistent race. Overall, a third-place finish, another podium. You got to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super thrilled by any means. Bottom line is I just got to get better. I started practice and it took me 99% of the time to figure the racetrack out, and I feel like I finally figured it out at the very end. So my Veteran Motorsports team made really good adjustments all day long, and Carson Cameron was pretty good throughout the race. We just, I think we lost the rubber at 1.2, which kind of hurt us, but I think we're going to be really good next week. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Iowa, get your thoughts about
14th Moffat cast.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Iowa. I haven't been there in a little bit, but it's one of my favorite tracks, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, we will see you next weekend.
I redid the math, Bob. I think it's 6 points difference between Corey Heim and Ty Gibbs heading into the next set.
Yeah, 6 points makes a lot more sense.
Another podium run for Corey Heim.
Rather than a 1 point difference, he cut off 1 point. That makes a lot more sense.
That shows you why.
I don't know where you were getting that math, Dorado, but
for Ty Gibbs,
that makes a lot more
on the
sense.
big track of Talladega when he was a victim of some other extracurricular.
So I'm going to guess that's the last interview. So we're going to go ahead and call that top 13 failed inspection. We're going to go ahead and call that a watch party. I'm going to go get started working on the Rewind show. Hopefully that won't take too long. We'll definitely get a Daniel Dye interview scheduled here in the next couple days, so look for that. And yeah, so thanks for hanging out tonight, guys, and we'll see you later tonight on the Rewind show. We'll see you on the personal channel tomorrow if you're on there, and if not, we'll see you on Tuesday for iRacing Tuesday. Peace.